podcast.
Hello and welcome viewers. I'm Idris. With me is
Ayushi.
and today one more time we have our guest here, Mr. Ved Vyas, who is a scientist, philosopher, mentor and a life coach. Welcome, sir. Thank you. Last time we had a wonderful discussion.
So whenever we talk about karma, people generally they run to all holy places to take a dip in the Ganga, and they say that once you do that, all your karma will be clean. So is it that way? Does it work that way?
To an extent it does, in a specific context. There is a story of a man who did something very bad and created great loss to his family, and he wanted to atone. And he went to the village priest and told, I had done so and so things and I wanted to atone. He confessed. The priest said, this is too much of bad karma you've done. The only way you can overcome this is you have to go to Ganga and take a dip and practice meditation there. Then he says, okay, how do I go to Ganga? He doesn't even know, he's never left his village.
Okay.
He says, go north and people will show you where it is. So he went north in the jungle and kept going. After 1 month, he came across a canal. He had never seen such a big water body. Canal is little irrigation canal.
Yeah.
And he felt that this is Ganga. So he sat there, did penance for about 1 year. Then one day someone was passing by and he saw this sadhu, and because he was practicing meditation and all these things. So what he was just talking and said, and finally he said, I'm practicing meditation, this is my Ganga. Oh, this is not Ganga. Then this is a small irrigation canal. This Ganga is really bigger. Then how do I find it? You have to go further north. It's very far from here. Oh, I wasted my 1 year. So he keeps on walking. Reaches, after about a few months of walking, he comes to a bigger river. And when there is a bigger river, he does the same thing. He feels that this is Ganga and practices. And then after a couple of years, someone else comes by and says, this is not Ganga, this is a small river. Ganga is very big. You have to go further north. Then he keeps again walking, and finally, by the time he reaches Ganga, he is too old and too weak. And once he dips himself in Ganga, he leaves his life. But the story says that he gets mukti. Why?
Because he tried doing that?
No, because he believed that he was doing penance by Ganga, no matter it was Ganga or not.
Okay.
It is the idea that such a powerful and divine river in his mind that charged him. It is not about the real Ganga. Real Ganga has its own properties and power, and I'm not saying it's not.
Yeah.
But the pilgrimage is this. How much effort you are putting to get there. If it is very easy, you are staying by, say, in Varanasi, you take dip in Ganga everywhere, it won't make much difference. In fact, it's more polluted there than anywhere else.
Right. So
Right?
only if it comes from deeper inside.
Yeah, it has to be
works.
part of your spiritual process. There has to be a deep belief. Even if it's innocent and completely nonsense, it's okay.
So Ganga is in our mind.
Exactly. So he had this idea of Ganga and he did sadhana on that idea. And that idea itself became his own God.
So that is how it works. Yeah. Another question is that, often we see people who are much talented. They might be in the spiritual process also. For instance, let us take Sushant Singh Rajput. He has done so much of good karma in his present life and he keeps doing that. And for that instant, let us take YSR also. He was in such a big power with a lot of money, but still they died in a very tragic way. So why is it that? Did their karma, past life karma affected their present life, or how is it? Because they are doing a lot of good karma. They are in a good position. They are, with so much of things around them, but still they died tragically. So all I want to understand is that, is it because of the karma is affecting it, or how is it?
Well, my question is, who is it tragic for?
For us?
Not for him, right?
Yeah.
He is gone. So whose karma is this?
Right. But still, they're dying tragically, doing so much
So
of
that
good
idea,
things.
who is holding it, that this is tragic?
We are holding it.
So it's our karma.
Got it.
And one more thing here, I have maybe a stupid question, I would say.
Okay.
Does karma have some levels, small, big, medium, sizes?
Energy.
Is it?
It's the energy that the trigger is creating. If the energy is little, then karma is smaller. If the energy is too intense, then karma is big.
Okay.
It's not only about energy of what you are creating inside you, but sometimes innocently, because of our own incapability or something, we create great damage to the society also. When that happens, the energy is communicating. So their sadness also is part of that memory. If someone blames you for a problem, then you are getting that bad karma. Do you understand?
Yes.
So being a politician is very important, because public perception means that if a lot of people blame a politician for their sadness, that person is getting affected by that karma.
Even if he is not doing it intentionally?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's nothing to do about intention. It's about that position. He has to be responsible.
If he is responsible enough, then I don't think so people will go against.
Even if on the other hand he is doing all good deeds, he is
See,
going
the
helping
point-
out people.
Very simple. Even if you can do a lot of good, being in a position of power is not about just being good. It's about understanding the politics of the position, understanding the society. It's about understanding the mechanisms of the government. It's understanding the power structure. If you are not aware of all these, you are not eligible to be in that position.
Right.
Anybody can do good. It's not about being good. It's about being good with that particular awareness. So if you are wrong person for that job, but you are sitting there doing small goods, you are gaining bigger bads.
True. Very true.
And if the proportion is same,
What do you mean by that?
the good things that he is doing and the bad things that is getting in
It
return.
doesn't matter.
See, I feel even if he understands the process, complete his position, power and everything, definitely good results will come and people will be happy automatically. I feel so. Am I right, sir?
We can hope so. See, because I know a client who has been a king in the past life, and he lost his kingdom because of the bad karma that people blamed him. Not because he was a bad king, but because he had some people who created bad image.
So will it work, people creating a fake bad image, or is it, if it's a genuine one, how it works? What will work?
It's only in the mind. Whatever perception is in the mind, those are the vibrations that come out. So it has nothing to do with who is creating them. Who is creating them because they had negative intentions to create this, that affects them as well. But overall, it's creating negative for everybody.
Right. So it will affect somewhere.
Yes.
Be it fake or real, it will affect.
I had a client who in past life was an incapable, he was a little bit weak, but because of the family connections, he was in charge of protecting a kingdom's palace for a queen. But when war came, he couldn't do anything and people blamed him. And that was so intense energy, and the queen was born as the wife in this life. And imagine the kind of karmic account he's facing.
Right.
And it took almost 6 months of constant working and building up his personality to a level that he was able to get to that energy where he could face that and clear it off. Once it was done, the relationship between his wife and him improved significantly. So there are so many things that happen. So we have to understand that if we are in a position of power, then we can't say I'm doing good. No. You have to understand the intricacies of your position and should be capable of utilizing that position for the good as the position is required to.
Required to be. Right.
You cannot say blame a system. You are in the position in a system and you have to understand the system no matter how bad it is. Because it's not the system that is ever bad, it's about the people.
The people, yes. How they work, how they react, how they handle it.
Yes.
Right.
So if you can't handle people of that power, don't get into that position.
Right.
Just little curious here,
Right.
that how do people get to know that what were they in their past life?
There are some self-hypnosis process, there are past life regression process, but personally I don't think it matters. What really matters is if there is any karma, in the sense of in the present life that your challenge you are facing, that is originating in the past life, to address this specifically, we can take you there. Otherwise, there is too much there, it doesn't matter.
But how do they really get to know about, what exactly they were, and how do they come to know about it?
It's a memory. Just remember, that's all. Just like you are remembering, say, 1 year back something happened and you remember it, right?
Yeah.
So past life this happened, I remember it.
But not all people remember all of this.
No, only in specific conditions of hypnosis it's easy to remember.
Okay.
For few people it might be natural who have that ability, who have the channels open. For most people it is closed.
So that means we have everything stored somewhere and it is accessible through certain ways, right?
Yes.
Okay. I think we need to work on that.
Yeah, right.
And let's know what we have done in past lives, right?
Right. But as Sir said, it doesn't matter now what you have done.
But it's good to know what we have done so that we can
The
fix.
amount of effort you put in trying to know, you'll get lost in so many small things than what is actually required.
So what do you suggest? What should I do in my current life?
In your current life right now, check what's bothering you most. That sadness, work on it. Accept it, tolerate it, and release it.
Oh, sure.
Practice
work on it.
meditation.
I'll work on it.
That's
We're
all.
already working on it, but I need to put more efforts.
No, it's not about more efforts. You're already putting enough efforts. It's only acceptance that's missing.
Okay.
So wherever that acceptance is missing, identify that, accept and release. It's not that you didn't accept everything. There are some things that we did not accept. That is the karma we need to work with. And that is what is the karma that is at this point of time relevant to address. Because it's already showing you that you please address me, otherwise I am going to bother you. I'm not going to leave you. Karma is a tough teacher. So you don't have to look here and there to find out what's happening. You just look at your life right now. Past 1 week, past 1 month, you have enough karma to address.
True.
You don't have to go beyond 1 month. Forget about going to past life.
Very true.
So is one lifetime enough to cleanse all your karmas?
If that is the purpose of your life, yes, it is possible. That means you have to put everything else on hold.
That's wonderful. And one more thing, like doing good. I mean, good deeds, bad deeds. How they work?
Intent. What is the intent with which you are doing some things? Are you doing it because it is triggered, you are afraid of certain things? Then it's a combination of good and bad inside you. So it gets reflected on the outside as well.
Right.
And you will see it as such, that it's bad. Because the fear reflects onto the bad and you'll see only bad. There might be a lot of good you are doing. You won't be able to see it. Others might see it. And that becomes your positive karma to a certain extent. Because others are seeing it.
There's a lot to discuss, but I think time won't allow us today. So thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure to have you on our show. And we'll further discuss. We have a lot of questions. The process is a long process actually. We'll definitely discuss in future episodes.
Right.
So thank you so much for joining us today.